Hello all, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a long time since I posted my last video. I'm very sorry about that. It's just that I was a little bit swamped with work, and that's the reason why I was not able to. I'm reading all your comments. I'm really thankful that there has been a tremendous outpour of your comments and your appreciation about the work or the content what I'm generating. I hope it helps you. It helps you add value in your everyday life. Some of them had suggested me that please focus on making a simpler understanding about legal and political aspects which are intertwined. So I'm definitely going to take that as a to-do list, and I'm going to focus more about not just about the legal world or the cases, but also the political legal scenarios what we have right now. And today's video is just that. And thank you for the suggestion. I've been reading your comments, and some of you are putting your personal legal problems in the comments. I'm really sorry I won't be able to answer for those. For the main reason that you should not really be taking online legal advices like that, because it's not going to help you in any way. Every case has to be understood in a deeper and multiple, there are multiple facets, and also there are multiple avenues which a legal professional will give you. Like for example, if there is any case which is being told to me, I can give you multiple scenarios in which I can guide you better in how you can, which way you want to go for. But typing down all the case scenarios, I really won't be having enough time to read through all those things and answer to those. That's not something which I can do because of the time constraints. But I'm very happy that you guys are tuning towards my content and liking those, and understanding the various aspects of it. I'm very thankful for that, and please do share my content to larger people so that they will benefit from it. I don't have any gain or personal gain with that. This is kind of like a social service what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so today I'm going to focus on a recent bill was passed, and this is again, it's a topic of political legal scenarios. So recently a bill was passed which was called Data Protection Bill 2023. It was passed in Lok Sabha. So I'm going to cover more about those, like what are the things which are covered in this, and I'm not going to go too much technicalities or legal aspects onto it. I'm just going to keep it very simple and very easy to understand kind of content. So let's understand what is data protection bill. Okay, so now we have to understand what scenario we are living in. We are a data driven world basically now, and now everybody is understanding what Google is doing, what every other data mining or data handling sites are doing. Google is the biggest of it actually. So whatever you search, whatever you talk, whatever you even sometimes whatever even you think that's not true actually. No technology can read your mind. But what happens is when we start thinking, we start researching unknowingly, because we are doing that because we have Google at our phones. It's very easy. So immediately if I think of something, and if I think about an advocate near me, and I'll start searching advocate near me, and that is how Google picks up what is your interest, what is your trends. So that is one aspect. But there's also another bigger aspect. It's where even organizations, they are collecting large amount of data, and they are carelessly giving it to somebody. I myself have experienced that. So one of the banks which I bank with, whenever the relationship manager calls me and we have a chat, immediately within 2 or 3 days I start getting this business entities calling me, and whenever I ask them, where are you getting this data from, how do you know about me, they'll be like, oh, we have a database. That's what they say. But that's a simple answer, because they'll not tell you the source where you're getting. But this is how it is. Even the well-known banking app, I don't want to say the name of it, but you all know whom I'm talking about. So they also do that. They are the biggest actually. I think they are the biggest collectors of all. And not just that, there are many sensitive and crucial information. I'm not saying about Aadhaar cards or your PAN number and all. So that is different. But this is like some of the privacy options. Like for example, some of the things what other people should not know about, maybe your financial condition, maybe your what are your aspirations, and what is the current amount what you have. It's just sometimes there's no dignity of living basically. It's like that. So this is what that is what has been focused now. So let me talk about what the bill is. Okay, so the bill right now, it was passed in Lok Sabha. Okay, it has to follow through various channels through which it will become law eventually. That will be more covered in the constitutional law aspect, so that I will not be covering now. But you have to understand that whenever a bill comes to either of the houses, there is a process which it needs to follow before it becomes a law ultimately. Okay, so the bill, let me tell about highlights of this bill. First thing is that it applies for not just data which is collected online, but also the data which is collected offline and it has been digitized. That means somebody gives you a call and they kind of have a chat with you and everything. And what they do is, nowadays actually even the everything is recorded, right? So your conversation will be converted into the meaningful information, and that information will be extracted and it will be documented. So that's what it is, collected offline and digitized. Or maybe you're visiting some mall, okay, and there's some promotional group is coming there and they're collecting the data, they're collecting your email address or something like that. So that is also again collecting offline and then digitizing it. And not just that, it will also apply the processing of that data, not just in India, even outside India. Now we have to be very careful of this, right? So the thing is, many of the sites which are being operated, you know how like Americans were feeling when all these data things were outsourced to India. Same thing now, the roles are being reversed actually, where even Indian data is flowing out. Okay, so India is a very good market now actually, because we have this consistent population and consistent market which we have, which is a growing economy and everything. So many people are tuning towards India. They're turning towards India and they're trying to focus on India now. And they are actually collecting the data too. So it's not just Indians collecting Indians' data. Even outside people are also collecting our data and they're using it in many ways. Why do you think all these big companies are coming to India? You know, recently we found out that Apple came to India. We found out so many companies are now actually coming up and opening the manufacturing facility in India and everything. So there's a reason for that, because the data is being flowing out. Okay. So another thing is the highlight of the bill is that the personal data which is being collected should be processed only with the consent of the individual. Then again, this gets tricky. So it says here that consent may not be required for specified legitimate uses, such as voluntary sharing of the data of the individual or processing by state for permits, licenses, benefits. So those are not included. But when I say this, actually, again, people will start using loophole of this also. Many times, have you ever like gone to a site and where you just don't even read it, just has two options: agree, disagree, agree, let in, disagree, bye bye, thank you. So that kind of options, when it's deleted, when it's there, you click on agree because you want to go in, because you want, that time you're not even thinking too much, you just want the information. So that's how that kind of loopholes also will be utilized in this case. When we say voluntary sharing of the data, many times what happens, even they will say, they may call you and say, we have an amazing offer for you, but only you should consent to us saying that, you know, that we can use the data. So these kind of loopholes will be used. But then again, it's up to you to decide what you want to do. Sometimes what happens, some of the data is so frivolous that you'll be like, it's okay, yaar, it's fine. Let them collect the data. I don't care about it. So it may be that. Or sometimes you might feel some of the information is very sensitive and you don't want to get it. You don't want to collect that data. So that is also something which you need to, and it also depends on individuals, how much you are. Sometimes some might be a little bit paranoid about the way how the information of them is used. Some of them is like, it's okay, you do whatever you want, I'll look at it. It will be like that. So there are two. Next is data fiduciaries will be obligated to maintain accuracy of the data, keep the data secure, and delete once its purpose is met. Now yes, there is a law here, but also there should be a governing authority also for this, whether they're really using the data properly and then are they deleting it. Some of the organizations, what I'm seeing right now is they are voluntarily doing it. So they, even without this data being passed, they are really considerate about humans, where they are saying that even before you enter the data, they say that, hey, this data will not be used, will not be shared. Okay, so it's very confidential. They're saying it upfront. They are like ethical kind of business people who are keeping it secure. But now with this especially this bill, when it becomes a law, then we'll be 100% sure that whatever they're saying, actually they have to do it. So that's what it is. Next is the bill grants certain rights to individuals, including the right to obtain information, seek correction, erasure, and grievance redressal. Again, this will come under the purview of, again, right to information, actually. That don't have to panic, because there are many layers to this. Just because somebody, nobody can just simply access the data without stating the obvious. So it's not simply I just want to get, like I'm spying on my neighbor and I just go and get the data. It's not like that. That doesn't happen that way, because you have to give legitimate and reason and prove your authority to know that you need to get that information. So the rights will be like that. It will not be like right to information, where this is not a public information. So there's two things, public information and private information. So since this is private information, no need to panic. It won't be like that, where anybody, Tom, Dick and Harry, can just send an inquiry and get your data out. No, it's not going to be like that. Next is the central government may exempt. Okay, it's still in the lukewarm stage, where it says that the central government may exempt government agencies from application of provisions to the bill in the interest of specified grounds, such as security of the state, public order, and prevention of offences. This, I know it's being stated, but this is already there. Okay, if you're thinking that this is something new, no. There are many, like for example, CBI, CID, all the investigation, NIA, all those people, how do they get information? They do get information. They have access to the information. There is nothing like that. They are also covered under different acts, actually, which gives them powers. So this bill is not going to do anything for it. So if you think that, oh, this bill is going to give you extra, give them extra weightage and all those things, nothing like that. This might be something which, this provision is stated because it doesn't conflict with the other. That's the reason why they have put that. Next is the central government will establish the Data Protection Board of India to adjudicate on non-compliances with the provision of the bill. See, I told you already, you have to have a governing authority to make sure that these are, all these things are taken care of, right? You need somebody. So it's like when you make a law and you don't have a governing authority or enforcing authority or a controlling authority, if you don't have, then there's no use of the law. The law will become just like, a fancy term, basically. So this is what it is. I think the bill is pretty much covered, robust, and there's still debates going on with, at least like Lok Sabha it has passed. I think it will definitely go through Rajya Sabha. Usually the bills will not be held in Rajya Sabha. They don't have that many powers. So if it's passed in Lok Sabha, then I think it will become law eventually. So yeah, so this is what it is. I hope you liked the video. I know it's quite long, but just wanted to explain this bill and try to make sure that as much like, layman terms, I don't want to throw in jargons and make complicated intertwined things. When again, this is just highlights of the bill, what I've told you. There are many more facets of it. The bill itself is very robust, and I had like I had to spend a lot of time to get a hang of it, like what are they saying basically. So yes, this is what it is. I hope you liked my new political legal video. And if you like this, then please do share and subscribe. And this is just for awareness purposes. I'm not going to get anything if you subscribe, or I'm not going to be tied up with some other party promoting you Binomo and all those things. I'm not going to do that. This channel is not meant for that. So if you do wish to share the content and make sure that there is awareness in people, then please do. Otherwise, thank you for stopping by. Bye.